The BBC was condemned as biased by a number of observers last year after it aired a documentary which purported to investigate what took place on the Mavi Marmara. The aid ship was part of a larger flotilla heading to Gaza in May last year, which was attacked by the Israeli military, leaving 9 passengers dead. The Israeli military gave the BBC special access to its commandos, but critics of the BBC's documentary say it served to whitewash what took place, reflecting a wider pro-Israel bias in the corporation's coverage.
The BBC started that program. The whole production was geared around, let's turn this into something that it's not. Let's make it look like the Israelis were simply trying to defend themselves, and let's really kind of villainize as much as we can the humanitarians that were aboard the ship. That was the agenda from the get-go.
And complainants say it's difficult to bring the BBC to account. Unlike all other broadcasters in the UK, the BBC isn't regulated by the UK media watchdog OFCOM. Instead, it regulates itself through a body called the BBC Trust. And the BBC Trust says that overall, the programme was both accurate and impartial. The Trust's investigation into the programme did, however, find fault on 3 points. The programme failed to provide enough detail on how the 9 aid workers died. The UN report on the matter describes at least 6 of the deaths as executions, which Israel has denied. The programme also failed to mention the allegations of mistreatment made against Israel by the injured, and didn't fully describe the aid on board the flotilla, while dismissing its medicine as useless. Complaints that the programme had misrepresented the humanitarian situation in Gaza, misrepresented the humanitarian aims of the flotilla, downplayed the ferocity of the Israeli attack, ignored the pronouncements that the raid on the flotilla and the blockade of Gaza were and are illegal, as well as many more arguments alleging the programme was skewed in favour of Israel, were all dismissed by the BBC Trust.
What you have to remember with the BBC is that it's a taxpayer-funded organisation, so it has a huge responsibility that the other broadcasters don't have to be fair and balanced and impartial, and also to be accurate. And if those are the things that you expect from a public service broadcaster, we didn't get that at all with Death in the Med. It was anything but fair, and balanced. It wasn't accurate at all.
A second Freedom Flotilla is due to set sail for Gaza in the coming months. Israel has warned it may again use force to prevent it breaking the blockade around Gaza. Hassan Ghani, Press TV, London.